Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for a collective tarot reading. This isn't a quick three because I'm using multiple decks and whatnot, but this shouldn't be that long either. Anyways, before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right. Also, all of the readings are up for December because we're still in the month of December. So the general readings are up, the love readings are up, and the money readings are up. Also, the general readings for January are up as well. Capricorn, obviously, January's Capricorn season. You received the bonus reading for the general, and I'm working on the love readings right now. You will receive a bonus reading for the love as well if you are a Capricorn. And the love readings will start going up over this weekend, going into next week. And then after that, I'll start working on the money readings. Whatever reading you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that I said that, let's talk about this reading. So, pre-shuffle energy. I feel like something is going on with the friendship. Doesn't have to be a friendship, but that's kind of what I feel what it is. Where there may have been a falling out and people aren't talking to each other. One of the messages that I received throughout the pre-shuffle energy was grace, as well, like granting grace and forgiveness, because both those cards came out. I'm using the Angels of Atlantis Oracle deck, and those two cards came out during the pre-shuffle energy. Also, willpower came out too. And I feel for that, if it is related to this, I'm picking up the vibe that an ego needs to be put aside. I feel like both parties may want to reconcile, but both parties are like, well, no, I'm not saying anything. You're going to have to say something. And if both of you are in that energy, then reconciliation more than likely won't happen. At the same time, I feel that this would be the perfect moment for reconciliation or to close out the cycle. We're not in Mercury retrograde yet, but we will be in about 13 days. And technically, pre-retrograde starts about 7 to 10 days before Mercury retrograde. So if we go by that standard, then it begins on the 19th, which is in 3 days. Just saying. So yeah, Mercury retrograde, it'd be a perfect time to reach out and say, hey, or either they might reach out to you, and that may be a thing too. Because again, the Hermit came out, which can be about isolation and looking within and all of those things. So they may reach out to you, and then it may be up to you to actually say, okay, well, they're reaching out. Let me see what I can do to meet them halfway. If you want to do that, we all have free will. You can do what you want to do. But that's the pre-shuffle energy. Let's go ahead and get into the main energy and see what comes out, because there's no telling. May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Okay, totally random thing while I was doing all of that. The name Sarah popped in my head. Maybe it could mean something, maybe it couldn't. Maybe because I've been dealing with a lot of Sarahs lately, like a lot of Sarahs. So maybe that could be it. But the name, when I was doing that, the name Sarah popped in my head. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. May I have some cards, please? Okay, that's too many, but the one on the top, actually, hold on. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's too many. But the one on the top is Grace. So Grace has come out again. So this is about granting grace, or maybe you're receiving grace. But honestly, I feel like it's about granting grace. I feel like some of you might, it's possible you're being too hard on someone. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. See what's going on here. Thank you. Okay, 2 cards. Wow. Yeah. Some of you might be dealing with a Libra. What's at the bottom of the deck? Inspiration is at the bottom of the deck. So, Gabrielle. So, the 2 cards that came out is integrity. Integrity. And I'm saying some of you might be dealing with the Libra because there's scales right here. That's why I'm saying that. So, integrity. Definitely, integrity is a big thing. Maybe there was a falling out because you questioned someone's integrity, like they did something that made you give them the side eye. Like it's, okay, why are you doing the shenanigans? Or someone questioned your integrity. And then something else now that I'm hearing is that you need to move with integrity. Now something's saying to me, don't be petty. So you need to move with integrity and then don't be petty is one of the messages. Now, the second card that came out is empathy. And this is Archangel Raphael, empathy. So this all goes with this. I think, okay, now I just heard something else. Okay. So with the empathy and integrity, I literally just heard in my head, no one is perfect. For some of you, you may feel that someone did something where they lacked integrity and it may have affected you in some way. And I'm not saying don't be upset about it. I'm not, how can I put this? I'm not really defending the person. If this is resonating with you, I'm not looking to make anyone's case here. That's not my job. I'm telling you that the message is no one is perfect and empathy plays a huge role. Don't forget what I told you, speaking of grace, because it came out twice. In one of my daily thoughts, it was the will of God, or the will of the divine never stops turning. And I was talking about the wheel of fortune, which is known as the will of God, because the wheel of fortune is Jupiter energy because it's about expansion. So Jupiter is the king of the gods, so it's the will of God. And one thing that I mentioned is that when the wheel turns, the grace you grant people when you're on top will play a huge role in the grace you receive when you are down. So that wheel is always turning. I'm not saying make up with someone because you want good karma or something like that. I'm not saying do that. What I'm saying is be mindful of how you treat people. I'm going back to the don't be petty. Just don't be petty and show empathy because no one is perfect. If you don't want to deal with this individual again, okay, have at it. At the same time, you don't have to throw darts on while you're walking away. But this message and this energy is saying you actually may want to either reconcile with this person or speak your piece and let them speak their piece and then go your separate ways. But however you deal with this person, even if they've wronged you, do it with integrity and show empathy. Let me take a few tarot cards and then we're going to wrap this up. I almost knocked my entire deck over. So, all right. May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? Can we clarify the cards on the table? Can we clarify the cards on the table? Can we clarify the cards on the table? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Thank you. May I have some more cards, please? Some of you might be dealing with a Pisces, or you might be a Pisces. Thank you. Those really just popped out. Wow. You know, this card keeps on coming out. What's at the bottom of the deck? Lots of Pisces energy. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, and this started off with the Hangman. So lots of Pisces energy here. Yeah, you haven't been talking. This has been stuck, is what it's been. And again, don't forget the Hermit came out in the pre-shuffle. So Hangman and Hermit are insight cards. They're gaining insight for different reasons. And with this, with the High Priestess, again, no one is speaking. But I feel with the Queen of Wands energy, someone will step up. You could be dealing with the fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, for some of you, this could be a family member. And the reason I'm saying that, it's amazing how some of these cards are coming out again. Because also the World card was in the pre-shuffle too. And the World card came out yesterday. And Ten of Pentacles came out yesterday. And here is the Ten of Pentacles again. But I feel the energy of this Ten of Pentacles is a little bit different. I feel with the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like there might be a family dynamic for some of you where someone is missing their family or their family is missing them. And I feel like someone's taking a break, Four of Swords energy, from their family is what they've been doing. So maybe they're doing the most when it comes to that. But I believe it will work out, is what will happen. It's just somebody's going to have to make the first move. And I feel the person who's going to make the first move is whoever's in this Queen of Wands energy. Is what they will do. So yeah, it's just forgiveness. I just heard grace and forgiveness. So maybe it's that, grace and forgiveness. Now that everyone's had time to think and do that. So yeah, but whatever you do, just do it with integrity. And of course, show empathy. All right, so that is your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.